Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Contest of Speed EU2. My name is Dan. I'll be your commentator for this evening. Joining me for his second race, it's Joel.
Yeah, second official race. Yeah, good to be back.
We're going to have a great time. We are live from the Hungary ring for round 2 of the championship. Ricky, of course, leads the way after his dominant performance last week, rather. I was going to say yesterday. Last week in Spa. And we're going to see who's going to dominate this weekend. Could be someone different. Might be the same. We'll have to wait and see. And it's both Red Bulls then leading us out straight away. Yorno leading the way, followed by Milan.
Yeah, not the strongest start to their championship last week. I mean, well, I think a lot of other teams will have taken those points that they got, but I think for the aspirations that they will be having, that might not have been the ideal start, so they'll
No.
push back today.
Definitely, they'll be...
selected the Inters. Odd tyre to do the first lap on.
He's on his outlap now, so let's see if he's actually on the... He is actually on the Inters. That is...
Yeah, I know there's some strange thing that the really fast guys do, where I think they do like an outlap on the Inters for some reason. So
yeah.
Give them that go.
We'll wait and see then what comes from Ricky's qualifying. But Yorno then about to come around the final corner to start the first flying lap of the session. Let's see as he crosses the line. So we'll ride on board then, just as we go through some housekeeping. So, 2 drivers missing tonight. That's Emir in the Haas and Jonathan Cox in the Mercedes. No replacement for Jonathan Cox because he did not tell us he wasn't going to be here again, so there'll be a penalty point coming his way. Thomas in the Alpha Tauri managed to get in at literally the last second before he would have been given a penalty, so he's got away with one. And that's about it. Everyone else is here, present and accounted for. Name change for Stumpy. That's something. Going from Cos Stumpy to TCH Stumpy. We're disappointed, but we understand. Everybody else, I think, is, as we said, present and correct. We've got an Alpha spinning up at turn 5. I believe that's going to be Tichy. Seeing as he's the only one on track, he's also on the intermediate tyre. Here comes Yorno then, first lap of the day, 14-0.
Yeah, wow.
Which is instantly beaten by his teammate by nearly a whole second, 13-1 from Milan.
Yeah, that's very, very impressive.
Yeah, and Snipes splits the Red Bulls there with a 13.4. Right, and I think just in homage to what would have been his week, let's ride on board with Matt as we go for a lap of the Hungaro ring. So down then into turn 1, heavy braking zone, one of the few overtaking opportunities on this circuit. Very difficult on the exit, particularly if you're running no traction, as most of these guys will be. Heading down the hill towards turn 2, another hairpin, this time to the left. Turn 3, flat out, 90-degree right-hander, and then up this short hill towards turn 4. Personally, one of my favourite corners on the whole F1 calendar. It's blind over crest, you have to throw it in and pray. Turn 5, watch out for the curb on the inside. Don't want to clip that, particularly with the rear tyre, you will face the wrong way. 6 and 7, chicane. Very, very possible to overtake there if you get a really good exit from turn 5. Now we head into the middle part of sector 2 through the S's. This final one might just want to drop a gear to sling it through as we finish sector 2 now into the final part of the lap. 3 corners to go. Turn 12 then. 90-degree right-hander. Very tricky on the exit if you put the power down too early. Turn 13, hairpin left. And then the final corner, turn 14, hairpin back to the right. As we head back onto the start-finish straight. Very short lap, very difficult to overtake. and Matt slows down towards the end for a 17.3, which will probably mean he's going to go for a run on the mediums later on, Joel.
Yeah, that's what that would imply. And the Hungaroring is a very, very difficult track, and it's very, very challenging to drive, and especially qualify around. And starting on the medium tyres is probably the ideal strategy. So if Matt can get himself inside that top 10 on the mediums, he'll be looking very comfortable.
Yeah, he will be. It's obviously fastest strategy around here is medium to hard. But it depends how many guys are going to go for runs on the medium tyre. Jamie's done one already with a 14.8. You would suggest that's not where he's going to stay, and he's not going to stay on that tyre. Tom Robbo is out on his outlap on the medium tyre, so we'll see how he comes around now for his opening gambit. Oh, gets twitchy on the exit of the final corner there, and that's going to compromise his lap, but he's going to keep. Young man got himself a podium last time out at Spa. Very twitchy on the exit of turn 1 again. That's what we said on the lap run through with Matt. That was a very, very difficult corner, especially with the DRS being still, while you've got the wheel open, you've got the steering open, and you've got the DRS open, and your rear traction is at its absolute minimum.
Yeah, the mediums certainly aren't the best tyre to qualify on around here. They feel much better in the race, but qualifying on them is such a big advantage that it's worth the sacrifice and speed.
It's worth a run at it, isn't it, just to see where and whether. Tom Robbo runs wide there, and that's that lap gone. He might have another go on those tyres, but that might lose any chance he's got of being up the order.
Yeah, as long as he's got enough fuel, which I believe he might do, because I think it does put you out with quite a lot of fuel. So, could go again.
We'll see. He is going to go again. So we'll stay with him then. Much better exit from the final corner this time. 21.3 for that lap, so he would have been in the... He probably would have been around somewhere between Ricky and Jamie, actually.
Yeah.
Ricky, bearing in mind, has done a lap on the soft tyres to go a 14.0, so...
Yeah, that's a bit better than the time we would have set on the intermediates, that's for sure.
Ricky has been successful here in the past, both in EU3 and EU2 actually, when he was here before, so another dark horse to watch out for. Let's hope the Wizard can get back in his car and get a time on the board. Perez jumping into P3 in the sister McLaren with a 13.4. He's actually taken the fastest third sector away from Milan at the front of the pack, so that shows where Milan's pace is in high speed corners.
Yeah, Milan with that 3/10 gap to P2 looking pretty dominant at the moment.
Tom Robbo then through the final corner. Let's see what he can do on the mediums. To stay on them, we'd be looking for a low 14. 14.5 isn't a bad effort. It's not quite going to be enough though.
Yeah, I think with the sheer pace that is in this tier, you've got to be extremely good on those medium tyres to be able to get yourself into that top 10.
Yeah, you do, and I don't think he would have been under any illusion that that time's not going to be good enough. And to be fair, not nailing it first time round was probably what's been his downfall there. If he could have got maybe a 14.2, 14.1, he might have been able to keep it, but... Yeah,
no, we've only got 10 people setting time so far, and I mean, Fitchy and Thomas are on their outlap with his speed, but maybe a bit of a tactical game, people not wanting to qualify to get that premium strategy possibly.
Maybe.
People qualifying slow to try and get that P11, we'll have to
see. I mean, we've got Lewis on a lap at the moment in the Racing Point. We saw last night that being outside the top 10 wasn't the be-all and end-all. I mean, I started P15, I think, and made it up to P5, or I thought P5 on the track, but with Hersey having his connection difficulties, it ended up being P6, as we see Lewis go up into 8th with a 14.3. I think the main thing we saw last night was Charlie, after one lap, started P18, ended up P6 after lap 1 on medium tyres. So it's not an absolute must to be near the front of the pack here.
Yeah, and I think if you maybe bank on people at the front getting tangled up with each other in a tight and tricky track, you know, you can really push yourself up the order on the opening lap.
Yeah, the first few corners, as we see Thomas run very wide on the exit of turn 1, but gets away with it. If you can get yourself in and amongst it and avoid the trouble, you can really get away with quite a lot on the opening laps here. The first 3 or 4 corners are very close together. There's not much of a run between them, so people don't really have a chance to space out the pack as Thomas cuts turn 4. So then, to everybody watching, as far as I can see, there's 28 of you at the moment. Thank you all for joining us for this EU2 race. I want to get some opinions from you all, and Joel will be watching the chat because I unfortunately can't at the moment. I want to get opinions on race winner and your whole podium 3 actually, and I want to know who's going to be your first turn 4 victim. I think
first turn 4 victim was last night.
I don't think we had one actually. I don't think anyone retired there.
I didn't retire there. I was a victim of an incident there. But
Yeah, so the victims are normally people who retire there. And the other one is, do you think that EU2 can match EU3 to not have any sort of safety car throughout the whole race? Which is something I didn't realise until after the race last night. I suddenly remembered, oh, we've not had a VSC or a full safety car tonight.
yeah, I was pretty much hoping from the one, that one, but yeah.
Thomas is going again on what I believe is the same set of tyres here.
Yeah, that's certainly risky.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what he does.
We have our first prediction, and it's Blaze saying Milan first, Jamie second, and Matty third.
No.
Possibly a bit of a bold prediction, but
Well,
those tracks where anything can happen.
Matt currently in P12. I don't think he's going to stay there, but you never know. Thomas powers for the line. 15.1 for Thomas on those tyres. That's easily beatable for him, so it gets him a time on the board.
Yeah,
But those tyres will
now improve on that. Otherwise, he'll be starting on, pretty finished tyres.
Well, he's outside the top 10 already, so he won't be.
There is a good point.
Yeah, he's got 6 guys behind him, 7 if you include Matt. 6 of those haven't set times yet, or haven't been able to set times yet. Matrix, though, is out on the mediums at the moment, and he's not set a time yet. We saw him out earlier on the soft tyre, but came straight into the pits. And this is a man we've known as championship material before. We noted it in pre-season. He has the potential to go all the way in this tier, and was indeed Tier 2 champion when he was last here. Went up as the winner. So let's ride on board then. Let's see what he can do on these medium tyres. 14.9 with it, and it said he was on his out lap on those tyres, but apparently not. Or is he going again? I think he's going again. Yeah, he's going again, I think. That's brave. I don't... Oh, 4-wheel lock up there, that's not going to help him. I don't think he's got the ERS for it.
I can't remember the ERS.
See? Yeah, he's 2 tenths down through sector 1. I don't think he's going to improve here.
Yeah, I think he overslowed far too much when he had that lock-up.
We'll see through sector 2 because he is still pushing, unless it's maybe to get back to the pits. Tichy has invalidated his time again. Tom Robbo's invalidated another run as well, but he has since then improved and gone second with a 13.2. I missed that.
I completely missed that. Still a 10th off pole, but I'm sure I'll be certainly very happy with that.
Matrix is putting a lot of energy into these tyres. He's going for it and narrowly avoids improvement.
Yeah, and I think by going for that second push lap, he's possibly ruined his chances of getting in and out of the pits.
Well, we'll see if he wants to go again. And Tichy's retired at turn 11. The final corner of the S's. Ricky's retired in the pits. Turn 11 is another one where when you're pushing hard, it can catch you out, especially in the race. First couple of laps on full fuel or on worn tyres. A little bit later on, we might see some accidents there. Tichy the first one, so he will, assuming the three guys behind him set times, he will start the back of the pack.
Yeah, and Ricky's retired in the pits. I think he'll be hoping for the likes of Matty and Wizard possibly to improve, which will push him down into the prime P11 position.
Yep, Donamo is improving on his time. Milan has beaten his own fastest first sector time as well on his lap, so let's jump to Donamo first, as he's just finished his lap and does improve to a 13.482, and then pulls over to allow the McLaren of the Wizard, I believe that is through. Indeed it was. Well, he's had his own first sector time beaten by Snipes, and Snipes has gone quicker in sector 2 as well. Let's jump across to the Ferrari man as he comes towards the end of his lap. This could be mighty from Snipes. He's lighting up our timing screen here with purple. Comes out of the final corner, gets a great exit, crosses the line and goes fastest with a 12.8.
Yeah,
that is mighty.
Yeah, certainly better than I can do, that's for sure.
That is fantastic from Snipes. A lot of people have been saying he should be tier 1, and with that pace it's hard to argue with. But that is fantastic. 12.1.
Yeah, and now Milan will have seen that as he started his lap, which is, I'm sure, all the motivation he needs to push and
well, Milan
try his hardest if he can to steal back that top position.
Milan was 2,000 slower through the first sector, so he's on pace at the moment. Perez improves to third with a 13.2. Let's jump to Milan then through the middle sector.
1.5 tenths up through.
Yeah, but he's down on Snipes at the moment. He's about a tenth down on the Ferrari, and he's backed off.
Wow.
I think he knows he wasn't going to improve, and he's backed off there to save those tyres. He did have 2 laps on them, to be fair. Tom Robbo then, who is improving at the moment. Is he going to overtake Milan into second place? He is! 13.1 for Tom Robbo. Takes that front row grid slot away from the Dutchman in the Red Bull.
Yeah, Milan might be regretting backing off now, that's for sure.
He might be. Timmy Ware 2 next, improves to P4. Great lap from him. Takes the fastest sector 3 time. And I think that's everybody.
Yeah, Jamie in the pits. Yeah.
And Snipes in the pits as well, yeah. Great run in there from the guys at the front of the pack. But then again, look at the gap in the times. If you exclude Snipes, who is clearly out in front, from Tom Robbo all the way down to Stumpy in P14, it's 1 second separating the pack.
So many corners and traction zones, there's a lot of time to be lost in gain around here.
That's not a lot of time. Yeah, and this is what we were saying earlier about EU2. They are very, very close in terms of pace. So then, Snipes takes pole position with a time of 1 minute 12.861. I can't believe I'm saying 12.
Yeah.
That is superhuman levels. Tom Robbo in second place for AlphaTauri. Great qualifying from him. See if he can build on his performance from last week. And Milan finishes off the top 3, having bailed out of that final run. That incidentally, had he finished it, would have kept him in P2. So we'll have to see how his start goes. Timmy Ware 2 next, and Perez rank up the next couple of cars. Then Jamie, Donamo, Yorno, Wizard, and Arbar finish off the top 10. All going to have to start on the soft tyres.
Yeah, Ricky's played it absolutely perfectly. He's retired in the pits, not done a final run, and he's managed to find himself in P11, which I think, other than the front row, that's probably where you want to be starting.
Yeah, definitely. Dry race it looks like.
Yeah, dry for now.
Yep. And we'll wait and see what happens when we get to the race. There might be rain later on, but we've not had any reports of that yet. At least I haven't. Anyway, I don't know if it's been put in the chat, Joel.
No, reading the chat, I don't see anything about rain, unless I've missed it. No. Doesn't look to be raining.
Okay. We had any more predictions? Just while we're waiting for these guys to set all their strategies.
Ricky getting a podium is a prediction I see.
It's not a bad shout.
Milan, Jamie, Matty. Oh wait, I've read that one out already. Never mind me. Snipes, Ricky, Milan. Yeah, I think Ricky's a good shout for a podium, if not the win, to be honest. Starting where he's starting. And that's it for the predictions.
Okay.
Oh, no. Snipes, Milan, Ricky. Another podium there.
Snipes, Milan, Ricky. Alright then. Any predictions for turn 4 victims?
I hate to say it as a fellow Alpha teammate, but yeah, Titch.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think it's going to be quite likely, I feel.
Yeah, I think even Titch would agree with us on that one.
Not found the transition to wheel as comfortable as some others have done in the past, but he's determined.
Yeah, he's certainly getting there.
Yeah, one day it'll all just click, and then he'll be good to go. So, we are ready to go racing then. 15 seconds until we get the formation lap underway. And we can have a look at some tyre choices. It should be very interesting. Ricky in particular. I have a feeling he'll have gone for medium.
Yeah, I think he'd be pretty silly not to be honest.
Okie dokie, there we go. So, tyre choices then. Top 10 on the soft have to be. Those are the tyres they qualified on. Down P11 to P17 even, so that's Ricky, Racer, Wisey Boy, Stumpy, Matty, Matrix and Thomas. They're all on the medium tyre. Fresh set of course, you get 2 for the race weekend. And then we've got Titchy and Hersey down at the back of the pack on the hard tyre. Keep an eye out for Hersey late in the race. He had some really, really good pace yesterday, so be aware of that one. That's going to be the Wizard starting with some cold tyres back on the grid.
Yeah. That's a magic some heat
into he did tell me his spells the other night. I asked him, because people who've been around long enough will know that the Wizard's original name was the 2-spell Wizard. Tells me his 2 spells are Expelliarmus and Expecto Patronum, and when questioned whether he would ever use Lumos as a spell, said no, I feel that Lumos is more of an app than a spell. which, for those of you who know him, is the most wizard comment in the world. AWS doesn't know what it's talking about strategy-wise. Pay no attention to that. This is a one-stop race. Yeah, even the soft guys will probably go soft to hard. They may try what I like to call codename Rainbow. It's all three dry compounds. We'll see how that goes. Someone might try it. It has worked for me in the past. But it will probably only be a thing if a safety car appears, which we'll have to wait and see as we get ready to go racing in Hungary. 5 lights. There you go, out. Our attention switches to the bottom right hand corner. The revs start to build. Away we go in Hungary. It's a good start from Snipes, but from Tom Robbo as well. Milan behind has got a brilliant start in the toe of the Ferrari, but he's boxed in by the sister car, the Alfa Tauri, nudging his way through. Goes down the inside of Snipes. Slight contact with the front wing, but they're all through. Snipes holds the lead. Milan up to second place. Robbo in third. Perez down to fourth. Timmy in fifth now. We head up towards turn 4. Snipes makes it through clean. Oh, side by side, Timmy and Arba. They've both made it, have they? Or has there been a victim? Timmy has...
Alphas.
Have both Alphas gone? Both Alphas? No. Full course safety car, so within 1 lap, Tier 2 have done what Tier 3 couldn't and bring out a safety car. Matrix has got himself a penalty for a collision with Don Armo.
Yeah, I think Ricky, Don Armo and Matrix, presumably, have had a bit of a coming together going into the chicane.
Yeah, just having a look at the damage figures then. So we've got wing damage for Thomas in P12, Ricky P15, full front wing damage on one side. Both Alphas, of course, and Matrix, they've all got wing damage.
Milan stays out.
Yeah. I would pit if I was on the soft tyres. Arbar, then the big winner off that first lap, got himself up 5 places. I can understand why he's staying out. Snipes has gone to the hards then.
Yeah, I think that's the cleverest thing to do. I think you'll have a lap or two behind the safety car, and then you're pretty much in the pit window anyway. So.
Where does he come out? P13, so the leader of all the cars who would have either decided to pit or have been forced to stop. Milan then now leads the way from Perez, Arba and Yorno, and they've been caught by the safety car, so any advantage they would have now will be lost. They cannot stop.
Yeah, now Snipes has got pretty much 9 seconds gap and 12 of the cars to get through before he reaches Milan, so Milan will be hoping they can pull a just less than a pit stop gap.
I don't think he'll be able to do that. Pit stop round here is 22 seconds,
unless
give or take.
Fly while Snipes gets held up behind the Haas and the Williams.
Maybe we'll have to wait and see. I don't think the soft tyres of the front runners are going to be able to hold on. I can't tell what Perez is doing. His telemetry's still not been set to public, so that'll be another penalty coming his way. But I would assume that he'll be in a similar position to Milan and Arba, who are around him, which is they're already over 20% on the majority of the tyres.
Yeah, from my various experiences, the softs are probably good up until you hit about 40% around this track, and then you start feeling
and
quite slippy.
Just starting now the second lap on the safety car. Donamo has pitted. And he's gone to... He will drop to the very back of the field, I think, unless he might get out ahead of Tichy. We'll have to wait and see. Oh no, Tichy's doing his old trick of cycling tyres. Donamo's gone to the hard tyre. Tichy, I believe, will come back out on a set of hards, or is he going for another set of mediums? No, I put the hards back on, so he will now try and go to the end of the race on those. Could be a shrewd tactical move. I would expect to see the safety car in at the end of this lap if Tichy can catch up to the pack. Might get one more lap out of them. Soft runners then at the front of the field, I think we'll be able to see them go to lap 6 or lap 7 at the moment, with the tyre wear figures as they are, depending on how many more laps we get behind the safety car. If it comes in this time around, then I think lap 6 is where they will want to go to. I don't think stretching them any further than that is a good idea. If we get one more out of it, lap 7.
Yeah, I think the hards are pretty much good for the end and from about lap 4, lap 5, so the sooner you can get onto them, the better.
Safety car is in this lap. That's a late call from our friend Bert Mylander in the safety car. It's right on board then with and look backwards. Perez is leaving a big gap there. And now he closes up. Of course, Milan cannot overtake the safety car, so it's limited when he can go. Safety car line, of course, now is the start-finish line, not the original pit entry line, and now he goes! Overtake engaged, missed a gear there on his way through, but managed to get it going, and Arbar going for a move down the inside of Perez into turn 1, gets it slowed down, Perez locks up, and the Red Bull is through!
Not yet.
Perez fights. Oh, there's contact between the two. Arbar now through around the outside. Turn 3. Oh, he's gone! They've gone! Big crash!
That is... oh my god.
That's huge. That'll be another safety car. Surely.
Yeah, I mean, that has to be another safety car. Yeah. I think that could possibly be the biggest crash I've ever seen on F1 2020.
That's pretty big. It's not the worst crash we've seen there, especially in Tier 2. If people are of a certain vintage, they'll remember a couple of years back. At that very same corner we've had a number of accidents, but that's 2 of the contenders for the victory out of the race, and we've not had a safety car for that one.
Yeah, no safety car, which is strange, to say the least. Now it's a Red Bull 1-2, and no doubt they'll probably be trying to pull away together.
Yeah, especially since the guy in P3 is Lewis, and he's on the medium tyre, so Lewis now the man leading the way for the alternative strategy. And that was a massive accident there between Arbar and Perez.
Yeah, and Snipes has managed to climb his way up past some of the cars like Herbal Dinius.
He's got himself ahead of Hersey, he's got ahead of Ricky, and a couple of others as well.
Yeah. He's actually gained on the lap since.
Yeah, and he will do. Those tyres are not going to do very well. Leaving the leaders then, Jamie closing in on Lewis on those soft tyres. He's going to have to get ahead, or try and undercut the racing point. It's as we come around towards the end of lap 5 then. Who's going to go first, do you reckon? Who's going to be the one out of these 3 soft runners that will go first?
I would believe it probably be Milan. I think Milan needs to just try and get on those halves as soon as he can. He's just going to lose out, to be honest, to Snipes the longer he stays out.
So I'm not sure.
Very smart to try and put his teammate.
No, Milan's tyres are worse off, particularly the front left. Significantly worse off than Jorno's.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we can keep these softs alive and maintain a tyre advantage, but I mean, it looks like that might be gone now.
And the Wizard has served his drive through. Unfortunate for him there. I'm not sure what the incident would have been for that to happen, but it probably wasn't his fault. Not entirely, anyway. Lewis now backing up Jamie into his teammate, into Wisey Boy in P5. So we could see maybe a double overtake here from Wisey Boy if he's close enough.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's close enough and he's not using the RS, so I think, you know, as long as he's within this gap to Jamie, he knows he's got the jump on him because the medium hard is a lot faster.
And then we've had a similar glitch to the one we had last night, where the yellow flag keeps appearing where we've had a retirement. Yeah, and I'm just...
glitch to have when you're hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, it often triggers you to have the do I need to pit mentality. Speaking of, Milan now, tyres approaching 50% wear. What's the gap then to Snipes? 9 seconds, so he will be out a long way behind. Milan will come out at the back of the pack. Only the Wizard will be behind him.
Yeah, I think he's made a severe mistake not pitting with that safety car, if I'm being honest, but you know, he's a fast driver and if he hits his head on, he'll certainly...
Yeah, we'll see. He's going again.
Yeah, and I mean, Snipes is sat in dirty air and, you know, in a bit of a train, so if Milan's confident in his abilities on these warm tyres, he's probably still game.
Got the two Alpha Tauri's battling each other as Tom Robbo goes down the inside of his teammate, who doesn't seem to want to make it easy for him, but makes his way through. Up into P7 then for the young Brit.
Yeah, and Tom Robbo picked a medium, so he's two-stopping. So I think that, I mean, I won't say rules him out, it's never over until it's over, but certainly, as it is now, I think he's going to struggle to...
Safety car at the right point, though. We've got one of the Alphas round at turn 5. That's Stumpy. Both of them having a torrid time of it so far today. Snipes, incidentally, has been caught up now behind the two Alpha Tauris and Matt in the battle for P6, and this is for position on track, so he's not going to get this through pit stops. He's going to have to make his way through. He is the only car out of the 4 on hard tyres, and he has Ricky for company behind him. Milan in the pits though.
Yeah, I think it's about time. Certainly, Jona does even longer, and no doubt he'll become in this lap.
Yeah, Jona's looked after his tyres well. Oh, here goes Snipes though on Thomas round the outside turn on. That's bold. If he can make that stick, and he has done. Fantastic overtake from Snipes. But Thomas is going to fight back and throw on down the inside of turn 3. Snipes uses his pace well and just holds it there and takes the position away. Tom Robbo's got ahead of Matt on the run up to turn 4. That'll be brave wherever that happened. I missed it. But he's found his way through.
Yeah, that's a bold place to try and make a move.
That's playing a game of chicken if you've ever had it in an F1 car, side by side towards turn 4. Either one of you backs out or you both end up in a wall. Just riding on board with Snipes, and it's just so effortless at the moment for him.
Yeah, he just looks so in tune with the track and the car. It's really impressive to watch.
Of course, last season was often referred to as a one-lap merchant, qualifying merchant.
Yeah, Jona puts his Thomas as
retired in the pits, which not sure why. He did have wing damage from an early incident, but was going strong still.
Yeah, that's a bit of a strange choice, but maybe he just felt he was out the running.
Maybe. Tom Rubber then now, right on the back of Wisey Boy, fighting into the chicane. But, Wisey Boy holds firm. An experienced man, but he runs wide. And now the AlphaTauri right in the gearbox off the racing point. He's going to go for a move into the difficult turn 12. Squeezes Wisey Boy wide, but has taken that position, and I believe no, he's not quite going to have DRS from Jamie, so Wisey Boy could come back. Jamie though, taking those soft tyres a very long way.
Yeah, that's surprising. Country territory, to be honest. He's looked after them beautifully.
He has, yeah. Only just now hit 60%, which is where normally on a set of tyres you would want to come in and get them changed, so I think we might see him in this time round.
Yeah, Jeff will certainly be having words with him.
25 laps to go, so if he does stop now it will be for the hards, but they will go to the end, and quite comfortably at that.
And quite quickly.
Yeah. So, might not be out of this just yet, Jamie. We'll wait and see. In the meantime though, Lewis leads the race.
Yeah, he's done a very solid job, and he could be in the mix of good points.
Wisey Boy has picked up 6% wing damage on the right hand side, so 3% of his overall downforce there is lost from his little battle with Tom Robbo. That might be where those 8/10 have gone.
Yeah, as Milan has got himself past Hitchy. Now got a bit of a clean air to push into, which I'm sure he won't be opposed to.
Tom Robbo then with a move on Jamie. Easy enough for the AlphaTauri, and he's clear by turn 2.
Yeah, I don't think Jamie was going to make that too difficult for him, to be honest.
No, I'm surprised Jamie's still going, if I'm honest. He is now in puncture territory.
Yeah, it's no surprise.
Yeah, that front left is going to be loaded significantly through this next couple of laps, and could be a problem for him towards the end of it. We saw a puncture last night. Not sure who it was for though. I think it was Hersey actually.
Yeah, it could have been. I think he was having some connection problems, so it wasn't quite properly synced into the lobby. But yeah, and now Snipes is getting held up in a Jamie-led train, and this is just going to give Milan more space and more time gained on him.
Yep, and Jamie finally pits. 12 laps on the soft tyres, that is bold. What's he going to go for? He's going for mediums.
Yeah, I had a feeling that he might go for soft medium, but I didn't say anything. I think it'd be out of the question, but
we'll see how he does.
He's not going to be able to do that.
Well, he's done 12 laps on the soft, which is double what I would have said they were capable of. I mean, yeah, there was a safety car, so take 3 laps off. It's 9. It's an extra 50. He might just, if the same maths applies.
Yeah, well, I mean, if he does, then fair enough. But he will have to look after his tyres, and to be honest, with how good the hard tyres are around here, I think he might not be putting himself at a particularly big advantage.
No. We'll see how he does though. Matt, Wisey Boy and Snipes then in a train. They've left Ricky behind, 1.6 the gap back to him. But Snipes now is being held up by these two and will look to make a move as soon as he can.
Yeah, but he's going to struggle because Matt's got 90% DRS, and I know that Matt won't be afraid to burn it if he needs to. He's probably going to go for a move from Wisey Boy here.
Yeah, we've got a prime view on board the Ferrari as Matt goes around the outside of the racing point. Can Snipes make a move down in towards turn 2? Not quite close enough on the exit to really sling one up the inside of Wisey Boy.
Yeah, I certainly think by the time we get down to the run to turn 1 next lap, Snipes will be shooting past Wisey Boy.
Yeah, he should be. It'll depend on Matt's next lap though, if he can clear that 1 second window, which he looks like he's going to be able to do. Depend on his middle sector though.
Is such a needed thing at this track, and any loss of it's not really going to be very good on the car.
Especially when Wisey Boy runs a little bit wide, clips the dirt. Still in the window though, it's not over yet.
Yeah, he's going to get the DRS, and unless Stein can get an incredible run on his final corner, I don't think he's going to be able to do a move.
You say that, he got the run. Here comes Snipes then. What's going to be the outcome of this? Overtake engaged, he's on the inside. Can he get it stopped? He can, but Wisey Boy's going to go for the switchback. Both cars with DRS, we wait to see them emerge. The Ferrari has the lead and the inside, and that should be job done. Indeed it is. Snipes takes P4 and will now set off after that Williams.
Yeah,
Tom Robbo, meanwhile, we've missed him again. He's sleuthing through the pack. He's managed to get himself ahead of Lewis now, and is almost 2 seconds out in front of the field, and that is after a pit stop as well. So he is leader on merit.
Yeah, he's really showing some incredible pace here. You then wonder if he possibly selected a more premium strategy where he'd be sitting right now.
Well, let's have a look. What did he start? He started on soft tyres and then went to the mediums.
Probably in between Ricky and Snipes. Well, Ricky, Wisey Boy and Snipes.
He'd be in there, yeah. I'm trying to think when he got ahead of Snipes. It must have been off the restart. Speaking of, the Ferrari man going for a move on Matty now. DRS is open. He's going to go for it. Yeah, I think he'll go for it into turn 3. Might sling it into 2, hold it, and then try and take it on the inside of 3. No, he's going to sit behind for one more.
Yeah, I think you've got to be, side by side with the other driver into turn 1 if you're going to be looking for a move into the left-hander.
So I'm trying to get a view from Matt's car to look back on Snipes, but it keeps locking on at the Ferrari. So, penalty situation then, let's have a look. Tom Robbo out in front, he might be clear for the moment, but he's only got one warning to play with. Same is true for Matt in 3rd place. And then as we head down the pack, everybody else is either 1-1. Oh, Stumpy is 1 warning away from his 2nd penalty. Everybody else has at least 2 to play with.
Yeah, Milan has got his way past Don Allen now.
And Lewis pits. Lewis is picked from 2nd place, but here goes Snipes now down the inside of Matt. But the Williams gets the better traction on the outside, and a full course safety car has appeared. Stumpy has lost it at what appears to be. Yeah.
I presume he's tried to ride the curb on the exit and just lost the car and ended up in the wall.
Now this plays into the likes of Snipes and Ricky's hands perfectly. And the Wiz has got another drive through for speeding under the safety car.
This is premium for Tom Robbo. I don't think he really could have hoped for a safety car at a better time, to be honest.
So, now what do they say? They say that the pit delta halves, is it?
Yeah, I wouldn't know around this track, but you know, Tom Robbo needs to get off those medium tyres, and now's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, started on the softer course, so a fresh set of mediums would probably go to the end from here, if he's got any. But we'll see if he stops.
Yeah, he
so
certainly tried the mediums in Wally, if I remember. So,
stopping now, he will come out at around Milan if the half delta is true. He has pitted, so let's wait and see.
Much slower tyre. Snipe stays out, which is understandable.
All the medium runners have stopped. Lewis stopped just before this, so it might work against him. Milan has gone through, so it's not quite right, the half delta. Of course, he's still in the pit entry, so he comes out behind Yorno. Just.
Yeah, and I think, yeah, that's a bit unlucky, to be honest. I think he probably would have rather be in between those two Red Bulls, because now he's got a 2 blue car buffer between him and that podium.
Yeah, and remember what we said in qualifying at the start of the race? Look who's in third place.
Yeah, Matrix.
Matrix is in there, right where he wants to be.
Yeah, certainly. I think he's going to have quite a lot of pressure from behind, but if he can suppress that pressure, there's no reason why he can't push himself up to second, or even first.
I think similar to Hersey last night, I think the Wizard is out of sync and out of phase with the rest of the lobby. He says he's 6 laps down, which is definitely not the case. And he's had a lot of drive-through penalties for speeding under the safety car, which I would imagine he can't actually see the delta for.
Yeah, he's been in and out of the lobby, I can tell you that. But
yeah. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that's the thing at the end of the race. Hersey, of course, last night sent in his results, and they were perfectly acceptable. We put him straight back in. So the question now, as we come round for another lap under the safety car, you've got the guys at the front three, 15 and 16 lap old tyres, all 16 lap old now, hard tyres. You've then got Milan Yorno on 8 and 9 lap old hards, and then Tom Robbo on those fresh mediums. Snipes' pace is good, he'll stay there or thereabouts. The two behind him, I'm interested to see what their pace will be like compared to the Red Bulls.
yeah, and you know, you never know with Ricky, you never know whether he's actually not got the pace or he's, you know, preserving tyres or what he's doing. He's a very, very tactical driver, so we'll have to see what he can throw at Snipes, but I certainly think Snipes, based on qualifying, will probably zoom away and possibly pull a solid gap, and then I believe Milan will probably be pressuring Matrix quite heavily, and then probably Ricky as well, and then maybe even Snipes. I think Tom Roberts maybe going to struggle to get past the Red Bulls, but you know, it's all what if. We'll have to wait and see.
I think if he can clear one, he'll manage to get them both. The problem will be if he gets caught behind both of them for a significant amount of time, to the point where he loses the advantage of those tyres. That will be his downfall.
Yeah, and he can't afford to get a penalty either. Also, that will hinder him heavily, especially if the field probably ended up a little bit more bunched up than they usually would, given we've had a safety car later on in the race.
So let's see then, safety car will do one more lap as we wait for the Wizard and I believe Tichy to catch the pack.
Yeah, I think the Red Bulls will probably play this one quite tactically, with maybe Yorno acting as a bit of a rear gunner from Tom Robbo, possibly trying to follow Milan past the likes of Matrix and Ricky.
We'll have to wait and see. I would agree. I think that's the way they're going to play it, or at least they're going to try to play it. But I think Tom Robbo might have too much speed, and I think he might be the driver that they just don't want there. As we've seen already tonight, he will go for an overtake if he sees a window.
Yeah, he's certainly capable of clean, well, hopefully clean, and
yeah, clean elbows out in the air, and it's going to be a case of how much wear he puts through those tyres, which at the moment is a fair amount, actually.
Yeah, I think when he got out of the pits, they were already on about 5-6%, so I do believe he probably did do some quality laps on them, which isn't ideal, but they'll still be good for the end of the race, surely.
Yeah. So we should see the safety car coming in this lap then. We will find out just around this corner. There we go. Much more space now for Snipes to back up the pack. We'll ride on board. Let's watch behind us. Unlike Milan first time round with Perez behind him, Ricky is no fool.
Yeah, Ricky's certainly experienced at this sort of stuff. Him and Snipes, I'm sure, have followed each other around in safety cars many times in Tier 3. So, still no Snipes' exact game.
There we go. Snipes has gone. He's gone early. And I think he's actually caught Ricky out there, at least as much as he can do, given the exit of that final corner.
I think Ricky got a bit twitchy.
Yeah, he tried to head alongside the Ferrari, but the warming of the tyres compromised him into the final corner, and Snipes is going to keep the lead well. And it's as you were then, down in towards turn 2. Milan looking at the back of Matrix, but no moves to be had at the moment.
Yeah, I certainly think the sooner Milan gets past Matrix, the better. I think the pace difference between these two on their respective tyres will be quite significant.
Well, looking at the wear figures, it's 10% between the two of them on average, which might not sound like a lot, but for 8 laps, that's quite a lot.
Certainly.
And I think it's that. Yeah, and he's going to be waiting for DRS to really have a go at these Red Bulls, but if he's me, I'm wanting to go before that.
Yeah, I certainly think he needs to try and split the Red Bulls before DRS comes into play, otherwise he could find himself in a bit of a...
Let's see, here we go, ERS engaged, Yorno is closing in on us, we pull out, he's going to squeeze him to the right hand side, left even. Looking at it back to front, and Tom Robbo is through past Yorno, gives him a little love tap on the exit for good measure. Says, there you go, son, that's how you do it.
A little bit strange from him. He didn't seem to really fight it too much, and I thought he probably would, and he probably should, but...
And, yeah, I think he burnt ERS, if I'm honest. I think he's just running more wing.
Yeah, I think, teammates don't have to play the teammate game, although if you care enough, you might think that's a smart thing to do.
Tom Robbo then now sets his sights on the sister Red Bull, the cousin of his own car. And in front of him he can see the Renault of Matrix, who is starting to become the cork in the bottle along with Ricky from these guys behind. Snipes has pulled away out of DRS range at the moment as we enter 13 laps to go then across the line.
Yeah, Snipes absolutely dropped Ricky. He's just on another level today.
He is, yeah. Timmy's got ahead of Matt. That's 2 moves in as many laps for him. And Matt's fighting back though through turn 1. We've got one of the Haas's running wide. That's Hersey, who I think went for a move of his own and got himself caught.
wide.
Yeah, and he's lost a lot of time there.
Yeah.
He's still in the race though, no damage that I can see. Wisey Boy still carrying that damage from early on. Oh no, Matt does have damage. 12% on the right hand side.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's in quite a good position, P9. Ball out, ball cards. But race not over. So.
No. And we are getting a leading group here. This is the top 6 or 7 really that are going to be holding the cards towards the end of this race. DRS is now enabled, so Ricky is the man who's in trouble. Let's go back on board with Tom Robbo then as we watch what could happen unfold ahead of us. He's going for it on Milan, you know. Gets it slowed. Oh, clips Milan though. It's all good though. Everyone through. Yeah, I think there was a bit of a concertina there, but Tom Robbo went for it.
Now Wizards think it's scoreless time apparently.
For ignoring a drive-through. We'll see what happens at the end of the race. I have a feeling he might have a result of his own to give us. Ricky definitely now 2.6 seconds the gap to Snipes, who is pushing hard to get away from the pack behind. He knows Milan and Tom Robbo in particular are coming for him, and he knows that these two cars between him and them are the only things stopping them going for a run. Tom Robbo has a look into turn 12.
Yeah, Milan's burnt all his ERS. It's very difficult to get in background. In a very dodgy place for him.
Yeah, that's something I've noticed. That's something I've noticed he's been doing. He's burning it all the way down the main straight, but then has the ability to claim it all back again. As he's gone for a move around the outside of Milan. Oh, back end steps out and he clips him. And then Jorno's coming through. He slams the door shut, but Jorno says, "No, I'm coming through." Gets his size 12 stompers on, kicks that door straight in, and retakes the position from the Alpha Tauri.
Yeah, great opportunity to drive in there from Jorno. And now I think Tom Robbo is possibly in a bit of a sticky situation now with the DRS enabled.
Yeah, he is. That was his opportunity. I think he needed to make that move stick on Milan. But now I'm going to jump to Milan because he's not going to have any trouble going for a move on Matrix now.
Tom Robbo's got wing damage, 20% wing damage. So that's...
Yes, well spotted.
Over, to be honest.
From this point, yeah, it will be. 10 laps to go. Yeah, having lost near enough 10% of his overall front downforce, that's significant. So that's going to be him out of the running. So then there were 5. As we see Jorno going for a move on Milan. This isn't in the script.
Tom Roberts.
He's coming down the inside as well. He's going for it. He wants that position. He's not going to give up without a fight. Forces the other Red Bull off the circuit. Oh, and there's a massive collision between Milan and Tom Robbo. And Milan there is stationary, and I have a feeling...
Yeah, I don't think Milan will be all too happy with that one.
Neither do I. Tom Robbo, I think youth may have got the better of him there. A little bit exuberant.
Yeah, he certainly didn't give the Red Bull all that much room.
No, he didn't give it the room or the respect that was probably deserved. From our point of view, it's exciting, definitely to watch, but Milan will not be happy, and I have a feeling there may have been some retaliatory action there from the pair of them, so we may have some reprimands to hand out at some point this week. But for now, the race goes on then. The front 3 stay as they were. Snipes shooting off into the distance, 4.2 seconds the gap to Ricky, then Matrix pushing his former teammate for second place now. Yorno in P4, who went off piece there, went off script to go for a move on his teammate that allowed Tom Roberts AlphaTauri up the inside.
Yeah, late off the plane.
No, it was great to watch. But I have a feeling that if that were real Red Bull and AlphaTauri, there would be a very large mushroom cloud appearing now over the Red Bull motorhome where Dr. Marco would be staying.
Yeah, I certainly think he'll be on the phone to his drivers after that.
Yes, might not be very PC, but I have a feeling that that false sign might be popping out of his head with rage. But he's still got one man in the running. That's Yorno, P4 at the moment, closing in on Matrix and Ricky. This will be the first lap he's had a proper go at them, where he's been in range. Takes a wider entry to get a tighter apex and a better exit, but just drifts wide there with a little bit of understeer.
Yeah, Ricky's pretty much all out of ERS now, and Matrix has still got 60%, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see moves being made come the next few laps.
Yeah. Of course, these two teammates at Ferrari in Season 3. In EU2, actually, as well. Chick's taking a much wider entry on the apex of Turn 4. So further down the pack then, we've been giving a lot of attention to the battle for second, but further down we've sort of been ignoring everybody. Timmy, where to next in P8 then? He's looking like he's going to go for a move on Jamie soon, but the DRS train is still active, and it's all the way from Ricky down to Hersey in P11.
Yeah, I don't really think I was expecting anything else at this track, if I'm being honest.
No, especially after a safety car. Matrix then, the man who engages his ERS, turns it off again. He's not going for it just yet. Ricky's gone defensive though, very defensive into turn 1.
Yeah, it's going to give Matrix the run. Here we go. Well, Matrix is burning.
I think Matrix wants to play the long game here. Oh, he's had a tap from behind, I think, from Yorno. And that's allowed Tom Robbo back ahead of the Red Bull, and he's scrapping again. Tom Robbo's through around the outside of Matrix, and Matrix has gone into the wall.
Wow. And he's out.
He
doesn't want to see it.
I'm not surprised, actually. I'm a little bit concerned there that Tom Robbo's been getting his elbows out a little bit too much at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if he wasn't angry before, Dr. Marco is certainly angry now.
Yeah, Dr. Marco will be very, very upset. And Matrix leaving there, I don't blame him for it. That was too much. Trying an overtake into turn 4 is not it's not the best idea.
No, especially a 3 wide overtake.
Yeah. But you've got to give the lad some credit. He's been fighting on with a damaged wing for about 5 or 6 laps now.
Yeah, I think the tyre advantage that he's had has probably allowed him to stick with these guys on the older halves. Whereas if he'd been in the same tyre position as them, he probably would have dropped off.
Yeah. Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see what his tyres do. 2 guys ahead of him, Ricky and importantly Snipes as well in the lead of the race. Their tyres are looking a little bit worse for wear.
Yeah, I think the Snipes is certainly going to be scared coming into the race. He's going to put quite a lot of pressure on those tyres.
But he's pushed hard early. He's made himself a gap so he can afford to just take it a little bit easy and look after them. 5.7 the cap. Yeah. Here comes Yorno. Not quite close enough to go for a move on Tom Robbo though.
Yeah, I certainly think this move will have a bit more meaning to Yorno than it might originally have.
Jamie's gone. Turn 1 on the exit. And we've got another VSC. So it's been entertaining at least, hasn't it?
Yeah.
If not marred by controversy a little bit. Still 4 full laps of racing to go though.
Yeah, I'm certainly glad I'm not an incident steward this week. I think
yeah, there'll be a fair few, I think. Although from what I remember, there was none from EU3, so I suppose it's a give and take scenario. Snipes now out in the lead of the race, has to lose more than 1.5 seconds a lap to be at risk from whoever ends up in second place.
Yeah, you can just afford to chill out and look after those tyres now and bring it home.
Let's see, will either car go for a move here, be it Tom Robbo or Yorno? Tom Robbo might. He's going up against the defensive Meister in Ricky, who just forces him wide, but it's going to be a good run down towards turn 2 now. Be careful who you get your elbows out with here. And Ricky's concedes the position without much of a fight. But looking at the penalty situation, Tom Robbo has 3 seconds now, so he's going to have to pull that gap.
Yeah, his tyres aren't in the particularly brilliant stages.
No, they are now outside of their prime.
Neither are Ricky's, and Tom Robbo is pulling the gap, but you know, wind damage and wall tyres aren't really a good combination. I think would do quite well from here, certainly, to pull that gap.
Yeah. I've forgotten to say, actually, everybody, I'm sorry, no interviews tonight. I have to head straight off. I've got work to do, believe it or not, like actual work, which is unfortunate. I forgot to mention that at the start of the stream during the housekeeping, so apologies for that. I will ask Mozza if he can get the top 3 from this race on this week's COS podcasts, which of course you can tune in and listen to, and him and Limmy can ask them about their race there, so make sure you tune in for those. So Ricky go on, Joel.
Look at the gap. Tom Robbo's pulled over a second already. Yeah, I think you could very well do it. It's going to be close, but it's certainly not impossible.
Yeah. Of course, we need to bear in mind there may be some others coming his way for the incidents with Milan, Matrix and Yorno.
Certainly, yeah. Not often you see drivers doing 30 laps on the hard tyre, quite a long time, that's for sure.
Certainly is. I mean, I remember doing something similar at Zandvoort last season, going for a very, very long way on the hard tyre. It's not fun. Cause not only have you got to look after them, but you've got to defend from people, and it can be a real challenge.
Yeah, not just a challenge for the driver in the car, it's also a big mental challenge, staying focused on controlling tyres that are premium.
Ricky then still holding on to P3 with Yorno right in the gearbox of the Haas car, and if there was one track that you would maybe want to defend on, it would probably be the Hungaroring. Maybe Monaco would be more suitable, but
yeah, it's certainly up there. I think with Monaco you can, I mean, if you want to keep someone behind, you can. Do you know what I mean? It's certainly hard to, but at this track, Monaco comes with a lot of risks. And as is the Hungaroring, but luckily there's no barriers.
Well, they say, I was told earlier tonight that the Hungaroring is called Monaco without walls. It's definitely something I can appreciate.
Now, 4/10 is the gap between Ricky and Tom Robbo. I think Tom Robbo will be giving it everything.
Yeah, but Yorno now is giving it everything. He's got to try and get past the Haas of Ricky. But that is the widest Haas in the world, and that's not the first time I've said that, particularly about him either. Oh, and Ricky gets the penalty.
Yeah, I think he can probably get that removed, maybe.
Possibly. I think we'll see him put that in. Now, can Yorno get P2 off Tom Robbo? That's the question.
Yeah,
Less than a tenth to do it. Oh, you say that, it's into the thousandths now, the gap. He's inside the window. It's bouncing around, but we're gonna have to jump to our race leader then. Rage Snipes, as was. Now IFR Snipes comes around the final corner to win what can only be described as a superb Hungarian Grand Prix with a fantastic performance. Great drive from Snipes, and I don't care what anybody else says, I'm giving him driver of the day. That was fantastic.
Yeah, it has to be. Yorno jumps Tom Robbo 400th of a second.
Oh, that is very, very close. Ricky goes from what would have potentially been a P2 down to P6. That penalty costing him dearly there against Donamo and Timmy. Where to next? But great result for Williams there with Donamo in P4.
Yeah, Ricky's quite unfortunate in that situation. I believe probably with Stewart's decisions he may end up still getting that podium that he looked almost pretty set for on that safety car restart. But
yeah. And well, as we said, it's been entertaining, if not marred by controversy. EU2 always throw up a good race when you need one, and I had my chat with Muzzer and Limmy in the podcast earlier tonight. I said it had the potential to be interesting but was likely to be dull. It was anything but. Snipes with the victory, and what a well-deserved win it was. A fantastic drive from him. Stopped short of the Grand Slam though. Didn't lead from lights to flag. And I don't believe he had the fastest lap either. That went to Milan in P12 with a 15.719, so no bonus point this week. Yorno and Tom Robbo round off the podium for now at least, pending stewards' reviews. Donamo in P4, fantastic result for him. Same for Timmy, managing to claw back from an early setback. Ricky P6 will be disappointed, but will look to have those 3 seconds removed to boost him up the order, back into 4th place. Tichy in P7 will be very happy with that result after that, especially after lap 1. No, neither did I. Lewis in P8 will be disappointed, but penalties have put him there. Hersey in 9th and Wisey Boy in P10. Matt just drops out in P11, with Milan in 12th to round off your finishers. Matrix, of course, left the lobby, so is not counted as a finisher, but will be counted as finishing in P14 as a DNF. Jamie in 13th as a DNF, then Stumpy, Thomas, Arbar, Perez, and the Wizard, who was disqualified, having had connection issues and being accused of ignoring a drive-through penalty.
Yeah. Certainly not the most wizard thing to get disqualified, that's for sure.
No, but I don't think it's his fault, which probably work in his favour when being confronted by Clan Riley. So, as we said, no interviews tonight, so all that remains for us to do is sign off for the evening. Thank you very much for watching at home. We hope you have enjoyed the show. We certainly have, commentating on it. If you want to watch more Contests of Speed, you can do so. We are live every weekday night and Saturdays as well now. So, European tiers, that's Europeans 3, 2, 1 and 4, are running Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday respectively at 10 PM in the UK. If you want to watch the American guys, you can do so. That they are running on Tuesday and Wednesday at 9 PM Eastern, that's 2 AM in the UK. You can tune in about 2.5 hours time to AM2 with Kitten and Bursey J. They will be live tonight. And our new tiers, that's the endurance tiers. Those are 100% races with 100% qualifying. Those guys will run at 9:30 on a Friday for both ED1 and ED2 for qualifying, and then on Saturday for the race, same time of 9:30, that's UK time. You guys have been fantastic as always as viewers. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Good night, and we'll see you next week for the Monaco Grand Prix.